Okay, so that was question 1 from 2014 sample paper. Question 3 was another one from paper 1 as well. Okay, let's have a look. It's a complex numbers question, this one. We're given pieces of information here. We're told that u, so u is just some complex number. V is another complex number. And then they say, remember, I squared is equals to -1. That's just a rule, okay, in complex numbers. But u and v are the two complex numbers there. Given that w, so w is some sort of new complex number. W is equals to u. What's u? Well, u is 3 plus 2i minus v. So now it's minus. Because it's minus, we have to use brackets here and be careful. Minus 2. Okay, so I've just rewritten this. Okay, so let's get rid of that bracket there in the middle. But because there's a minus outside the bracket, that changes all the signs inside because we're basically multiplying by -1. Basically multiplying by -1 there. -1 by -1 gives us a +1. And -1 by plus I gives us a -i. And we have -2 at the end there. Now bring all the i's together and all the numbers together. So let's do the numbers first. We have 3 here and 1 here. And -2 at the end indeed. So 3 plus 1 is 4 and 4 minus 2 is 2. And then we have 2i minus 1i. So 2 minus 1 will leave us with just 1i. And that's what w is equals to now. Okay. So now we have 3 complex numbers. We have w and we have u and v from up at the top there. Now we have to plot them all on this Argand diagram below. So let's go with u first of all. U is 3 plus 2i. So 3, and this is the imaginary 3 plus 2i. So that's right here. That's u. V is -1, so -1 here, plus 1i. So that's 1i. Okay. And that means here, that's where v is. So even if you didn't get part 1 right, you can still put u and v on the map, on the diagram here, and you get marks for that. And w is 2 plus 1i. So 2 plus 1i is w. Okay. Now they ask us to find. So yeah, we have to substitute in here. Now let's write down what u is again. U is 3 plus 2i. V is -1 plus 1i, and w is 2 plus 1i. Let me just make sure that now. Just quickly look again. Yeah. Okay, substitute these in. So it'll be 2u means 2 multiplied by u plus v. Now there's 2 signs there clashing. So yeah, we can put brackets around like this. Over w, so it'll be divided by w. Okay, let's do the top line first. 2 by 3 is 6. 2 by 2 is 4i. Now, because it's a plus outside the brackets there, that won't change. It's only if this is a negative. If that was negative, it would change the signs inside to change that to a plus and that to a negative, like we did up here, okay, where there was a minus outside the bracket. But in this case, there's a plus outside the bracket. And when there's a plus outside the bracket, it does not change what's inside the bracket. So you're just left here with -1 plus I over W. Now we can tidy up that top line there with numbers. So let's green for the numbers. So we have 6 minus 1, and then imaginary parts with imaginary parts. Plus 4i plus 1i. So let's do the real parts first. 6 minus 1 is 5. Plus 4i plus 1i, so 4 and 1 is 5i. Okay, now the rule. Now we have to divide here, the top by the bottom. Division in complex numbers, of course, is not straightforward. Why would it be? It has to be a little bit tricky, doesn't it? Unfortunately. But yeah, what we do here is you have to get the complex conjugate of the bottom number, okay? So 2 plus I is the bottom number of that fraction over there. Well, the complex conjugate of that is 2 minus I. So you have to just go back to what we did on complex numbers in the chapter and you'll see about the complex conjugate, okay? It's just a matter of changing the sign of the middle bit, okay, or the imaginary bit. So instead of a plus, it's a minus. And what you do is you multiply the top line by it. So it'll be 2 minus I, and you multiply the bottom line by it, okay? And this is kind of where we split the question up into kind of two bits, the top bit and the bottom bit. So let's do the top bit first. And then we'll come back and we'll bring it back together in the end. So the top bit is 5 plus 5i multiplied by 2 minus I. Okay. So split the first bracket up. So it's 5, multiply it by the second bracket. And then the 5i, multiply that by the second bracket. This is like algebra. We've done this many times in algebra. Okay. 5 by 2 is 10. 5 by minus I is minus 5i. Okay, that's the first bit done. Then plus 5i by 2, so that's 10i. And plus 5i multiplied by minus I. Plus by a minus is a minus. 5i by I is 5i squared. Okay, now we can tidy up a little bit here. We have minus 5i, so this bit, minus 5 plus 10, gives us a plus 5i. But don't forget, I squared is equals to a minus 1. That's the rule we have in complex numbers, okay? So we have to replace, anytime I squared comes up, replace it with minus 1. Okay, when we multiply out, that becomes a plus 5. And of course, we can combine the 10 and the 5 at the end there to give us 15. So that's the top part done of, that's the top part done. So we've just done basically the top part here, okay? Now let's do the bottom part. So we're going to do this bit next. No, I'm sorry, this is going on a bit. It is, I'm sure, a bit boring, but unfortunately, it's the only way to get through it is just to go through it line for line. Okay, so now the bottom bit. We have to multiply as well. So this is the bottom bit. 2 plus I multiplied by 2 minus I. So again, break up the first bracket. So it'll be 2 multiplied by the second bracket plus I multiplied by the second bracket. So we have 2 by 2 is 4. 2 by minus I is minus 2i. Then plus I by 2 is plus 2i. And plus I by negative I, so negative by plus is negative I by I is I squared. Let's not forget that I squared is equals to minus 1. So we have 4. Minus 2i plus 2i is no I. They're gone, okay, cancelled. And minus I squared is minus 1. So those two minuses clashing there become a positive. We end up here with 5. And that's the bottom part done, okay? So this is the top part. This is the top part when we multiplied it out. We're bringing it all back together now. That's the bottom part. And sometimes this happens. It happens in this case that 5 will divide up into 15 3 times, and 5 into 5 goes once. So you're left with, that's your answer. Okay. Again, any questions, please just email me or whatever. Get me on Teams. And yeah, that's it. Tough questions, though, I have to say, tough questions. And I would really concentrate on the 2015 paper on. It's not as difficult as that. Okay. Thank you.